we have this from the Post-Millennial. Biden's approval rating among 18 to 29-year-old voters has dropped 12 points in the last 2 months, according to CBS and YouGov. In February, Biden had 55%, but by April, it had dropped to 43%. Now, the question is, what does that leave for Donald Trump? Because just because he's at 43 doesn't mean Trump's doing well. I think they say a recent Harvard Youth poll said Trump had 37 to Biden's 45. So it still may be that Trump is underwater. However, Republicans typically don't rely heavily on younger voters. Democrats don't, and that's fair, but they certainly rely to a certain amount. And that means when the Democrats are going through their expected turnout, they say, okay, our bulk is going to be here, 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 and here, but we can safely bet on 7% of our votes coming from young people. The GOP is going to say the same thing, and they're like, we're going to get 3% from young people, because I think it's like 2-1 basically for Democrat to Republican. If the youth vote for Biden drops 12 points, just over 10%, they're looking at their numbers and they're saying, we've lost a full percentage point of our base, a full percentage point of our expected votes. Yeah. That's a lead for Trump.
And in cities, too, which is key for Democrats.
Right. So it's not that we're sitting here saying Biden, that the youth vote is so important. It's that they're trying to track. It's like that cartoon back in the day where the cartoon animal Pluto or whatever, no, not Pluto. Who's the stupid one who screams? Mickey's friend? Goofy.
Okay.
He's like trying to plug the holes in the boat.
Yep.
Yes.
That's basically what Biden's campaign is doing right now with losing voters. Mm-hmm. It's trying to just get their. I don't think it was actually Goofy, but somebody did it. You know what I mean?
I believe you. It's like
a cartoon character.
Yeah. Putting his finger in the holes and then his toes and then other fingers and then his eye and then his nose.
In the dike. Yeah.
No, I think it's interesting because maybe neither one is going to win the election just only on youth votes. But if you hemorrhage in every age group, if you hemorrhage in every socioeconomic class, on every educational level, all of these things that these polls track, at a certain point, you can't really make it up, right? Yeah. And again, I just don't think the Republican side of things, whether Trump is the perfect candidate or not, I don't think they have this fatal dividing issue the way that the Democrats do. I mean, the impact of the Israel conflict is really serious, and it is only continuing to escalate. I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was this report from The Guardian today about professors at the New School in New York, which is like, a small arts college, staging their own encampment. They're like, in support of students. Right. We are also against this issue. Professors are not young. They're typically older, right? This means there's also divide in another sector of Democrats that, again, Republicans just don't really have to overcome in the same way.
People vote usually for two reasons. Economics, like my pocketbook hurts, and their passion topic, whether it's pro-life or LGBT rights or any of these things. And Biden doesn't have a strong economic platform right now. So he's got to rely on the passion projects. Well, all those liberal leftists who would normally be like women's rights, LGBT, they kind of all in this pro-Palestinian camp. And so he's not going to get votes for economics. He's not in these passion project voters. He may not be getting them either. So this is looking bad.
The passion on the left, on the Democrat side, literally on the left, is literally communism. That's not right. Exaggeration. The passion, the people that are really passionate and emotional and invested emotionally, they believe in a revolution where the world is made better because the whole world abolishes capitalism. So that's where the passion is, which plays into something that we say around here a lot. The issue is never the issue. The issue is always the revolution. So the activists are always looking.
No, continue.
The activists are always looking for a way to facilitate the revolution, and the issues don't matter.
Do you know what Liberty Prime is?
It is from Fallout 4, right?
3. And I'm sure people have sent you the videos of Liberty Prime.
I've seen some videos of Liberty Prime.
What is it?
At the end of Fallout 3, so the new show that's out on Amazon Prime that's like the biggest show in the country is Fallout, and it's based off a video game. In the third edition, you're in DC, and you can repair a gigantic robot that was made by the U.S. Army, and it's a 30-foot tall robot with missiles on it, and it was designed to fight communists. And so when you activate it, it starts marching down the street being like, communists will be stopped. And like, just.
Tell me it has Phil's voice. That would be the
It
best
doesn't,
thing
but
ever.
the reason I bring this up is conspiracy theory. I got a spoiler for you for those that haven't finished the Fallout series, but considering it's been out for as long as it has, there's spoilers. I was playing Fallout 4 today, which came out in like 2014, it's been like 10 years. And the point of the game, are you familiar with the series at all?
No.
It's after World War, after a nuclear world war. And in the original lore, the question is, China goes to war with the United States, the US is anti-communist, China is communist, and then a nuclear war happens, and then you're in the aftermath of this. There are posters all over Fallout 4 when you're walking around, you're in Boston. Communism is coming, and it's like this scary thing, and it shows a skull on a bomb being dropped. Spoiler alerts. In the show, they've sort of changed the lore. Originally, they said in Fallout, we didn't know who dropped the bombs. They're like, they leave it up to you to decide. China invaded Alaska because they needed resources, and then someone fired a nuke. In the show, at the end, they say, actually, an American corporation dropped the bombs, faking it to ignite a war because they controlled all of the emergency vaults, and that would make them basically, in charge of the plan and give them supreme authority. Conspiracy theory is, as Phil's pointing out, that their passion is just communism. I was thinking for a second, like, yeah, well, but Fallout series is very anti-communist. Like, not anymore. They changed the lore, so now it's anti-corporate, and the communists were innocent of nuclear annihilation. That's kind of wild to think about. Huh?
That is wild.
Yeah.
So I'll just stress this again. Long-standing video game for several decades. Communists invade the United States, and someone fires the first nuke. TV show comes out 2024, and it's revealed the American corporation Vault Tech is actually the one who did it. So it's no longer the communists.
This is making me want to defend corporate America, which is
Absolutely.
very weird.
Absolutely. Corporate America is definitely bad, but corporate America is not as bad as like as a totalitarian government.
Ranks way above communism, for sure.
Well, I mean, above as in good?
Yes,
better
yes,
than yes.
better.
Yes. Corporate, like a corporate autocracy is night and day more preferable to a communist government, because a communist society is totalitarian. An authoritarian government, you can keep your head down and keep your mouth shut and mostly get, just go about your life, because all they want is to be in charge. If you follow the rules, you might be able to get away with it. If it's a totalitarian government, you must think the things that they want you to think. And the problem that we're seeing now with making people change the way they speak is an effort to make people change the way they think. That's what it is. That's why they say trans women are women, because they're trying to get the idea into people's heads that trans women are actually women. There's no distinction.
Which dystopian novel was it? 1984, Thought Crime?
1984, I thought.
It was illegal to think the thing?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the modern society shows parallels between a lot of them.
And as much as we talked about this a little bit the other day, as much as there's a lot of people on the left and the right trying to deny it, the anti-Semitism bill absolutely would make it a discriminatory offense under the 1964 Civil Rights Act to claim that Jews killed Jesus. Are you familiar with this?
Oh, yes.
So there's a lot of people coming out and saying, no, you're exaggerating. It's not illegal. That's not what they're saying. No, hold on. The anti-Semitism bill got passed, but we don't know if it'll make it through the Senate. Donald Trump in 2019 signed an executive order instructing federal agencies to operate under the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism, which includes, as an example, statements like Jews killed Jesus. I'm not saying they did, but it's in the Bible they did. It's in the Bible numerous times, and it's not, and then people try to argue, no, it's in the Bible that they demanded of Pontius to do it. No, it's in the Bible that Pontius says, I will not have this man's blood on my hands. And then the people scream back to him, it will be on our hands and our children. That's in the Bible. So if you believe in the Bible and you preach the Bible and someone is in some way discriminated against, you have now committed a crime under the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which I believe is a civil violation. You get sued and you lose. So you're not going to go to jail for it. Anyone's allowed to go on a street corner and say the most vile things, like I'm not even talking about the Bible. I'm saying like they can go out and be racist, whatever. You can't go to jail for that. But if you kick someone out of a store while holding up a sign that says something overtly racist, they're going to sue you under Title VI, and they're going to win. Now, putting up a Bible passage like the one of Pontius saying, "I will not have this man's blood on my hands." Imagine you had that in your restaurant, denied service to a guy for some arbitrary reason, like he wasn't wearing shoes, and then he says, "You know what? Well, I was Jewish, and he had a thing on the sign blaming Jews for killing Jesus. That's why they kicked him out." You will get sued. You will lose.
Yeah. I mean, in Texas, y'all know what Dairy Queen is?
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
of course.
Okay. Every Dairy Queen in Texas where I live has a Bible on the counter. Do y'all have that?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What?
And there's a highlighter, and it always says highlight your favorite verse. So while you're waiting to order, you go to the Bible, you open it up, and you highlight your favorite. It's just
This did not happen in New England when I was growing
okay.
up.
This is Texas Dairy Queen. Texas
Wow.
Dairy Queen. But I mean, technically, it might not be printed that you have Acts 10 or 2 Thessalonians or any of these verses, but having a Bible present in the store, someone could say that's anti-Semitic.
Mm-hmm.
And even look, it's opened up here and someone highlighted this, and I didn't get and so
And I didn't get served, and it could be
something stupid.
the ice cream maker wasn't working,
Right.
and then they say, no, you look at what happened in Colorado, the baker who gets sued over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's opening a door that should not be open. But I will also stress, oh boy, does that bill ban the Quran and the Hadith. Like, it's one thing for the Bible to be like, and Pontius said, "I will not have the blood of this man in my hands." And they yelled back, "It will be on the hands of us and our children." It's another thing in the Hadith where it says the hour will not come until the servants of Allah hunt down the Jews, and the rocks and the trees will scream, "O servant of Allah, there is a Jew hiding behind me, come kill him." That's crazy.
But that right there is not defined. An example from the New Testament is defined. So
Well,
that just shows there's a double standard between
Yes.
Christians and Muslims in the United States of America. They always get the pass.
But to be fair,
We know why.
I don't think any organization needs to explain why the Hadith passage is anti-Semitic.
Right.
Like you don't need to list
Right.
it. Literally, like it just wow, is it shock?
Yeah.
You know what's kind of crazy too is like, is that a violation of YouTube's community guidelines to be like that passage in the Hadith, which is also found in the original chart of Hamas, is deeply anti-Semitic, and it is an outrageous thing to say, but it's a tenet of their faith. For those that follow Hadith, I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming they all do, don't they? Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.